Ethics, morals, you hear these words thrown around all the time, right? And a lot of us use them like they mean the exact same thing, but they don't. And understanding that small but crucial difference can actually help us navigate some of life's biggest questions.
So let's just be honest for a second. Do you really know the difference? It's okay if you don't. It's a super common point of confusion. But stick with me for a few minutes, and I promise we're going to clear all of it up right now.
All right, let's start with ethics. The absolute simplest way to think about them is like a rule book. But here's the key. It's not a rule book you wrote yourself. It's one that's kind of handed to you by a group you belong to.
At their very core, ethics are the standards of right and wrong that are imposed on you by an external group. That word external is so important here. This isn't about your personal beliefs, it's about the we of a community, not the me. And this rule book can come from pretty much anywhere. Your workplace has a code of conduct, right? That's ethics. Professions like medicine or journalism had these incredibly specific ethical codes we all just expect them to follow. And heck, even society itself has all these unwritten ethical norms that guide how we act.
And don't think for a second these are just, polite suggestions. No way. These rules have teeth. If you violate a professional ethical code, there are real consequences. We're talking about getting fired, facing a massive public backlash, or being called out by your peers. You really do see these ethical codes everywhere once you start looking. Journalists have standards for how they verify sources. PR professionals have guidelines for honest communication. Even social media platforms have policies that basically act as an ethical code for every single one of their users. Okay, so if ethics are the external rulebook, what in the world are morals? Well, if ethics are the rules of the group, morals are your own personal compass. Morals are fundamentally internal. They are your personal principles about what's right and what's wrong. This is the code that you, as an individual, choose to live by. It's all about you. So, where does this personal compass even come from? It's not something you just download. It's forged over a lifetime. It's shaped by your own unique experiences, the values your family passed down to you, your cultural background, and all the tough lessons life has thrown your way. And here is a huge difference. While a society's ethics can totally evolve over time, just think about how business standards have changed in the last 50 years, your core morals, they tend to be much more stable. They're kind of like the bedrock of who you are.
All right, we've defined them both. Now let's put them side by side for a little head-to-head comparison to really lock in the differences.
It really just boils down to this. Ethics are external rules for a group, while morals are internal principles for an individual. One is uniform for everyone in a profession. The other is totally unique to you. One can change with the times. The other is your constant personal compass. See the difference?
So why does all of this actually matter? Who cares? Well, because in the real world, the rulebook and the compass, they don't always align. Let's talk about that critical intersection where things get really interesting and, honestly, really challenging. The true test of our values, maybe even our character, comes when our professional obligations, our ethics, ask us to do something that just goes against our personal convictions, our morals. Just imagine this scenario for a second. Your company's code of ethics requires you, as part of your job, to promote a certain product. But you, personally, morally, believe that product is actually harmful. And suddenly, you're caught. What do? Do you follow the professional rule you agreed to when you took the job? Or do you honor your personal compass, that thing that tells you this is wrong? There's no easy answer here, is there? And that leaves us with the big question. Now that you know the difference between the external rulebook and your own internal compass, when they point in two completely different directions, which one do you follow?